Hi, welcome back to the cabin. Now listen, I have some news for you, right? I told a little white lie in my last video, right? What it was, I said that I couldn't make it to my dad's for his birthday, right? Now this is what was going to happen, right? I'm going to be honest now, right? I weren't going to tell my dad I was going. Hey, I was just going to turn up at the door with a bottle of whiskey and say happy birthday, Dad, right? That's what the plan was. So my brother were going to come up, which is early hours today. My brother's going to come up, pick me up, take me down south, and then he was going to take me to my dad's, and then I was going to go to his door, knock on the door to surprise him, say happy birthday, Dad, here's a bottle of whiskey because he turns 80, right? So the reason why on the last video I said that I couldn't make it down south is because I wanted to throw my dad off the scent and me going down, because he watches all my videos. So if I say I'm not going down, he'll think, oh, well, you can't make it then, you know what I mean? So in the meantime, I've spoke to my brother and also to Kev, and they said it'd be better off telling me your dad, because he's 80, that you're going down, because you'll give him a cardiac arrest at the door, right, when he sees you. Which I kind of thought, I don't think he'll have a cardiac arrest, but it would really shock him, right? So I decided the other day that I would tell him I'm going. Anyway, he's over the moon, he's well looking forward to it. And this will make you laugh. He said he's throwing a surprise birthday party for himself. How's about that one? A surprise party for himself, and he's organising it. So that's it. That's what's going to happen. So my brother's picking me up today, which is now, it's now Tuesday. It's now Tuesday, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning. So my brother's travelling up. He's going to set off about 5 o'clock, I think, and he's going to get up here for about 8 o'clock. So he's going to have a coffee with me and that, and then I'll show him my cabin, because he's never seen my cabin, my brother. So I'll show him my cabin, and then we'll set off back, like, you know, so down south. I'll be honest with you, I'm going to tell you some truth now, right? I'm not going to lie to you. I've been really ill for the last couple of days, worrying about going down. Now, you might think you're only going down south for seeing people, but if you think about this, I haven't left this cabin in years and years and years, apart from going on transport to the hospital or being in hospital. I've not left here. So like me having to, because I don't see nobody apart from Kev. I don't see anybody, do I? Unless there's a delivery and I speak for less than a minute and they're gone. So I've no contact with the outside world. So it's going to be overwhelming for me, and I know it is. So plus I'm really worried about the journey as well, because of my spine going down. But my brother said he's going to drop the front seat, so it's like a long, so he's going to pull the front seat forward, drop it all the way back so it's level with the back seat, and I'll just lie on that. So I've got a foam, you know, like you go camping, them foam, rubber foam things. I've got one of them to lay on. So I'm going to lay on that, because I'm in tremendous pain with my spine for any transportation at all. So Stuart says we'll try and stop as much as we can to let me walk around a bit to help me back. So I appreciate that he's doing that for me. So, and I'm also worried about this party as well, because as my dad's told me there's about 17 people going. I don't see anybody from one week to the next, so I'm really bricking it going. So my dad don't realise. I know he doesn't. He just thinks, oh, it's only party. But for me, it's a big thing, like. So hopefully I'm going to be okay. So I'm hoping I'm going to stick with the Glen gene that runs in my family, which is the Glen clan. They're always talkers. So because my dad says I can talk a glass eye to sleep, so my Uncle Harold was saying he was a big talker. Now listen, I've got something to tell you about my Uncle Harold. My Uncle Harold, 2 stories about Uncle Harold, right? True story. These are true stories, right? The first thing is, Uncle Harold was my mother's brother, and he lived in Carlisle, and at one point he lived in Lancashire, and he used to do CBs and walkie-talkies and that, because they were big in the 80s, weren't they? 80s. So he used to have a chat show on the radio, talking and giving people advice and everything. Anyway, he did a Guinness Book of Records. He's in the Guinness Book of Records for the longest non-stop talking on the radio. It lasted 3 days, just short of 3 days, and he fell asleep on the microphone. And he's in the Guinness Book of Records for the longest. And I'll tell you another story. Hey, this is a true story, because you'll not believe it, but it's true, right? My Uncle Harold used to live in a remote area like me, so it's like you don't see nobody. Anyway, he used to have these Alsatians at the gate, right? He had to think about having Alsatians at the gate so trespassers wouldn't come. Anyway, he heard the shouting, so he came out, and it was the taxman, and it was a policeman as well, saying that they had to let a taxman on the land, right? So my Uncle Harold said, hang on a sec, and he goes in caravan, because he had lived on a caravan, and then he come out with a shotgun. This is a true story, right? He come out with his shotgun, and he pointed at the taxman, and he told him to F off, right? So policeman, like, really looked at him type of thing. Anyway, my Uncle Harold lowered the gun, fired it, and shot the taxman in the foot, right? Made a mess of his foot. So my Uncle Harold got arrested. This is a true story. My Uncle Harold got arrested, and when it went to court, he got let off with it. Because my Uncle Harold said that it fired by accident. He didn't pull the trigger, it just fired itself. And it was unfortunate that it hit the taxman. This is what Uncle Harold said. Didn't get to prison, didn't get a fine. You won't get away with that now. It's straight prison, isn't it, for a gun? But yeah, that's a true story, that, my Uncle Harold, yeah. See? Oh, strange but true. Pressing gaslighter then. Strange but true. That's a true story. So, I'll give updates on the journey, and I'll probably put the camera on to see it when I knock on the door to see my dad, then you can see my dad. So, right, listen, I'm going to get off because I'm going to have about an hour's sleep because I've had no sleep, getting everything ready. Do you know, I'm not going to show all the stuff I've got packed because it looks like I've packed like my house is on fire to go. I've got 3 big bags to go down South Stuart's going to go balmy. He's going to go balmy. I know he is. So, but one of the bags is just camera stuff, all for my GoPro and my other stuff. So, but I want to be prepared and stuff. So I'm going to do little videos when I get to my brothers and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm giving one of the Vitamin power stations to my sister, Julie, because she's part of a charity for disabled people. So I'm donating one of my power stations to them, one at Newlands. So that's that. She don't know yet. She'll have a surprise when she gets it. So I'm waiting for my brother. I've rung him up and he's at Newton Stewart. So he says he's about an hour off from me. So he'll probably come have a coffee. I'll show him the cabin and then we'll probably set off then. So we'll catch you a bit further on in the journey. We've had a quick stop at McDonald's. It's the first one I've had in 3 years takeaway. And absolutely brilliant. It's all changed inside since I last went. It's all computerized screens where you've got to place your order and then they deliver it to your table, which I couldn't believe. So I've got a photo of what's left over. I had 2 Big Macs and fries. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'm finally at my dad's. He's in the bungalow at the moment. That's bungalow. So I've come to see him. As you know, for his birthday tomorrow, he's having a party. Now, I've got something funny to tell you, right? You know when I've just showed you the pictures of McDonald's, right? My brother dropped me off right at Bottom Road here. I got out of the car and my stomach went, right? Because, you know, I've got stomach problems. My stomach went, I thought, oh no. So I put the rucksack on my back and carried the other rucksack. And I squinted, that's the best way to say it, squinted my bum all the way up here. Anyway, I come through the gate and Judy sat outside, my stepmom. And I said, hiya Judy, all right? And she like looked at me, she didn't recognise me at first. And I said, it's Ian. Oh yeah, she's like this. I said, look, I need toilet quick. So she said, pointed to the door. So I went to the back door. My dad had put chain on back door, he'd gone to bed, hadn't he? Right? So she pointed to these French windows here. So I went to the French windows, they were locked. I thought, oh no, and I was getting really, really desperate. So I'm pressing doorbell like this. So he comes to the door. I say, hi Dad, happy birthday, love you. And I just literally pushed straight past, I ain't seen him for 7 years. I pushed straight past him and went straight to the toilet. I just made it. Anyway, she was having a chair. My stepmom's having a chair delivered today, right? One of them reclining chairs. My dad thought I was that bloke pushing past him to go to the toilet. He didn't know it was me. So eventually, when I come out, this bloke's unloading this chair with my dad. And he's going, I didn't know it was you, son. He said, good to see you. He says, you put weight on. He says, you put a lot of weight on. He's like that. I thought, oh, nice one, Dad. Yeah, thanks. So that's the story so far. Now listen, I will keep you updated on everything going off, okay? So this is a picture of my dad's bungalow. This is where I'm stopping at the moment. And I've got a lovely photo now I'll show you of his rockery. He's got it front there he looks after. So that's about all the information. Now I'm going to show you some photos of the party that we've had. This is a picture of my dad's birthday cake. He was born in 1945. And these are some photos that I took of the people who came to the party. They're all the neighbours that know my dad on the street. So unfortunately I didn't know any of them. So that's all the photos. And then there's a lovely photo here of, on the left, my stepmum Judith. And in the middle is my stepmum's niece Anne, and then my dad. And this is a lovely photo of Anne and my stepmum as well. Really nice. And then I've got a lovely photo of Judith, my stepmum, then me and my dad. I love this photo, it's dead nice. Now this is the end of my dad's birthday, and he's now on his 14th piece of cake. And he says, I can hardly eat it, I'm full, but I could shovel just this one last piece down. Have you had a good birthday?
Just like you.
Have you had a good birthday?
Yes, I have.
Have you? Well,
I've eaten well.
I've enjoyed the company.
I have, yes.
Apart from mine, I know.
Yeah.
And we want to say a big thank you to the head chef, Anne. She's the best chef in the world. She's cooked everything, and she's been a star.
Yes.
And she's booked for every occasion now. Every time there's a do, she's booked. Right, so thank you very much.
Yeah, I prefer weddings and christenings.
Yeah.
And parties to anything else.
All right, okay, we'll do our best. Well, party, we've had a party. We'll just say everything's a party, won't we now?
That'll do.
We'll say it's all a party.
Yeah.
So we're signing off now. It's now evening time. It's about 9 o'clock at night. I came back after the do. And then I come back and then I went in. This is my dad's bungalow. So I went into my room here. And then I had to sleep for about an hour. And then I went back up because there were a bit of food left over. Because to be honest with you, I didn't really have anything to eat. I had one sausage roll, which were like a quarter size, and one tiny little pork pie, and one little triangle egg mayonnaise sandwich, because I was worried with my stomach with everybody there, you see. So, because it was a weird experience, because when I got there, well, it was, again, this afternoon, I came, before the do started, I came back to the bungalow here, and I had a rest the afternoon. But the thing that were really nice for me, that really made my day absolutely brilliant, is my dad rung me up and said, I've got a really big surprise for you. Your Auntie Irene's here. She's come early to see you. So I'll tell you something, right? This is an absolute true story, right? My Auntie Irene is so special to me, right? She means everything to me, that lady, because, and her husband, Uncle Arnold, who's passed away, unfortunately, he was nice to me as well, but Auntie Irene's class. She's really, really an old-fashioned auntie that's really kind and caring. She's really nice. And what it was, those of you know on the channel, that when I was growing up, my father left when I was about 5, 6 years old. And then my mum and dad got divorced, which were messy, like most divorces are. And then I didn't see my dad till later in my life. Well, when I came to see my dad, he took me to see the family. And they all promised me that they would ring me up, they would spend time with me and all this to welcome me into the family. Well, I'm not going to lie to you, none of them bothered, right? Apart from one. my Auntie Irene. Now, out of all of them, she's so special and she's so kind, because whenever I would ring up my dad's and my stepmom's before she became poorly, then my Auntie Irene used to go and visit a lot with Uncle Arnold. And my dad, I used to ring up when I knew they were visiting, and my Auntie Irene would get up and she would come to the phone, and sometimes she'd be on half an hour on the phone talking to me, and she always wanted to know what I was doing and what I've been doing and everything. And she always rings up my dad, and one of the first things my dad says is she always asks how I am, what I've been doing. So when I saw her today, the thing that made it nice as well is she knew everything I've been doing, which shows how much she cared, because she knew, I know it's a silly thing to say, she knew all about my health problems that I've been going through. She knew that I didn't do dogs anymore. She knew I did YouTube, but she said, I'll be honest, I don't quite understand YouTube because it's not my generation, but I've tried to learn off your dad the bits he's told me. So honestly, she's a really, really quality person. She's really nice. And the reason why I'm going to say what I'm going to say is, even though she's auntie and uncle, on my dad's side of family, they always say, like, Irene or Arnold, no matter what relative you are. You just say, how you doing now, Irene? Well, Irene to me is my quality auntie, so I will always call her with total respect every time I speak to her. Hello, Auntie Irene, how are you? I call her auntie first, out of total respect, because honestly, people might be laughing now. That's up to you. But when you have somebody that cares about you and quality, then she means a lot to me, honestly. She's a really, really lovely lady. So I saw her, and then because she came early and I came up early, then I spent quite a lot of time with her. We had a really good natter and talked about all sorts. It was so nice, because what it is, this do that's been on today, I'll be honest with you, I didn't sleep well last night. My dad don't know this, he'll know this, we're watching it. This video, but I didn't sleep well. I've had really bad anxiety about it. I've been panicking so much inside about it because of my anxiety. So, like, I was late getting up this morning because I was worried about going up in case there was still loads of people there when I got there this morning. So I didn't get up while 12. I was coaxing myself to get up simply because I was panicking inside. At lunchtime, 12, I got up. And then when I went up, when it was this afternoon, I thought, wait, if I can just come down and try and calm myself down before I do. But luckily, like I said, I saw my Auntie Irene and that relaxed me. And then everybody started turning up then. But the thing that was working me up inside was everybody knew who I was. So, which is nice that my dad talks about me and says everything I've been doing to people. But normally, you would have something to play with that, if you know what I mean, where you would know a bit about that somebody to then engage in conversation with. You know, because they know about you. So really, you would know something about, well, I don't know these people, do you know what I mean? So they're all talking to me and I'm finding it hard, and then my anxiety's kicking in. So what I kept doing was, to try and cope with it, is I kept getting up and I kept going in the kitchen to see Anne. And she's a really nice lady, Anne. She's nice, Anne. So I was talking to her, and it was like calming me down with talking to her. And then I kept having breaks where I came from outside, and I kept going sitting in the lounge in the bungalow near where the outside bit is, where everyone was. And then I turned my computer on, so it looked like I was checking stuff, you know what I mean? But I was just like hyperventilating a bit, you know what I mean? Because I was getting a bit panicky. So my dad came in twice, actually. And he goes, you coming sitting out? And I said, oh, I'm just checking my emails, Dad. I'll come out in a bit. But I weren't checking my emails. I was just like having a small panic attack, you know what I mean? So every time I come out, I know what I did do. When I get bad anxiety and it's with people I don't know, I talk quite a lot. I don't mean to. I just talk a bit more than what you would normally do. But because I live on my own and I live in the middle of nowhere, this is the first time I've properly left a cabin for over 3 years. Now, I have been to hospital and I've had treatment in hospital, but that's not really leaving the cabin, do you know what I mean? Because you have a nurse come in, a nurse goes out, that's your lot. See ambulance crew, because I'm on transport, they're back, that's it. Not like a group of people of 17 people like today, you know what I mean? It was just so overwhelming for me. So then I managed to get through it all. And then everyone was still nattering and talking. I just came in, I said to my dad, I'm going to come down to the bungalow for a bit and have a bit of a kip, and then when everyone's gone, let me know, and I'll come back. Because to be honest with you, I'd had nothing to eat. I had just like a tiny bit of food. And then I was starving, you know what I mean? So, but because of the heat as well, it were affecting me. So I come back and I was having a rest, and then he rung me to say that everyone's gone apart from Anne, and I wanted to go up to say goodbye to Anne anyway because she's nice, Anne. And then I went up, and then there were quite a bit of food left, so I've had a bit of food, which I feel so much better for. Now, I'll tell you something, right? Anne has been the head chef, and I tell you today, I'm telling you, she's done me down proud, honestly. The food has been unbelievable today, all nice. But the only thing that everybody missed out on is the coleslaw. Do you know, she spent over an hour making this coleslaw from scratch, and it was nice. It was really nice. But the problem is, we put it, my dad and Anne put everything on the table, and everyone were tucking in. And then halfway through, we had to get the cake out, chocolate cake, for my dad for his birthday. So when we pulled the chocolate cake out, Anne realised that the coleslaw was still wrapped up in the fridge. But everybody had finished the main food. They were waiting for the cake, so nobody wanted coleslaw. And honestly, she spent an hour on it. So tonight, when I've had my food, then I've had a load of coleslaw, because honestly, it were really nice. But you know what my dad, well, those of you don't know, but my dad, if my dad sees somebody else eating, that's it. My dad's got to have something to eat as well. So he's eating a great big plate of coleslaw as well, you know what I mean? So I've said goodnight to my stepmom Judith, and then I've said goodnight to Anne and thanked her so much for everything. And I said goodnight to my dad. He looks really tired, my dad. He looks really, really tired. But what else I did see at the do, right, was I saw Rebecca. Now, Rebecca, she is my Auntie Irene's son, is called Nigel, right? Now, I know Nigel from when I was little, when I used to go to our granddad's, me and Nigel's granddad's, to play when I was little. So I used to see him there at my grandma and granddad's, right? So Nigel's got one daughter, and her name's Rebecca. Well, when I came back to the family, like I said, I went to visit everyone. Rebecca was about 11 years old, and she were a really nice kid. You know what I mean, she were kind, and she spoke well and everything. She was nice, and I've always remembered her. But when I speak to my dad, he tells me bits and bats about what he found out about family, and he keeps me informed about all the family members. And one of them that he always keeps me informed about is Rebecca. And he was saying she used to work, he told me ages ago she worked at Leyland, and now she's got a bungalow and all this. But because I've been talking to Auntie Irene today, then Auntie Irene's told me everything, and from the beginning type thing, what's been happening with Rebecca. So Rebecca turned up today. So when she come, she sat next to me, but she didn't know who I was. So I'm talking to her, and she's going, I don't know you. I said, it's Ian. I says, I'm your dad's cousin, like. I says, I'm Victor's, my dad, like. And she says, she said, I remember you live in Scotland. I said, yeah. She said, well, you know when my dad and my mum were going to visit you in Scotland? I said, yeah. Well, she said, I was on a school trip at the time, so I couldn't come, so I was looking forward to coming. I said, right, okay, yeah, I'm with you now. So I got talking to her for ages, and then I told her about YouTube. And you know, I said to her, do you go on YouTube? And she said, no. She said, I'm about the only person that everyone knows that don't go on YouTube. I said, well, that's a pity, because I've got a YouTube channel. And I was telling her about me on YouTube and everything. So she looked it up, and she said, I'm going to follow you on YouTube. And she said, I'm going to watch your videos, like. So that was nice of her. So that was that. So like I say, I'm jumping back to the end of the conversation. So the photo and video that we just did with my dad with the cake, right, that was actually my piece of cake, because it was the first bit of food I had. It was my cake. So when my dad did the video and the photo with my dad holding cake like that, right, that was my piece of cake. Anyway, he didn't want to give it me. He's going, no, I'll have this. I'll just have that bit. You cut yourself some more. I'm going, no, Dad, that's my piece of bleeding cake. It's my birthday. So he's doing that all day now. It's my birthday. So that's that. But at least I've got some, before I go, right? Got something funny to tell you, right? Yesterday when I came here, my dad and my stepmom, Judith, they live on the next street, even though this is my dad's bungalow, they live there, right? So I went to see them there, even though I slept here. And then I kept coming up and down a few times, backwards and forwards, on an evening yesterday, right, when it was dark. Anyway, when I'm walking down, hey, all these neighbours are stood at windows, right, true story. And this bloke's walking his dog and he gave me a right dirty look, looked at me, stared at me like this, and he's giving me a dirty look, right? So anyway, when everyone's turning up here today at my dad's, up there, right, I noticed this bloke. I says, I know you were giving me a dirty look last night. He says, well, it's funny, he said, because we was all on the phone to each other. We thought you were trying to burgle the place. You were eyeing all the houses up to burgle us. Oh, are you joking me? He said, no, you look right shady. I said, all I would do, my phone's shaking, I'm sorry for that. He says, you look right shady. I said, all I was doing was walking down the road going to my dad's bungalow. No, you look shady to me. So, and then his wife says, oh, he's always like that, don't worry, he always thinks everybody's shady. I went, all right then. So we got chatting. So, yeah, so apart from me having a panicky day, not so good, then it's been nice, but I didn't really talk to that many people. I kind of talked to a small group that was around me, but I was too worried and stressed to talk to everybody else. But unfortunately, the one photo that breaks me out I never took was Auntie Irene. Can't believe it. So by the time I took the photos, Auntie Irene were going. I don't think I've took one of Auntie Irene. So I've no photo, I don't think I've took of Auntie Irene. I might have done, but I don't think I did. So I did actually slip up today at the do, right? Because you know me with my sense of humour, right? What it was, when everyone started coming and everything, they were all talking. And one of the wives said, like, to everybody, oh, it's a big day for me and my husband who were sat outside. It's a big day for us today. It's actually not just Victor, my dad's birthday. It's actually our wedding anniversary. You know me, don't you? You know what's coming. So the other said, like, oh, how long you been married? And she says, oh, we've been married 40 odd years. I went, you poor bugger, to him, like, and he looked at me, didn't know what to say, right? And then we got talking a bit further on. And then later on, as the day went on, I kind of slipped up again, big time, like, because he says, it was when I was taking all the photos, which you've seen already. And he says, oh, I've had a good day today. It's been really good. And I turned to him and she was there. I went, bloody good day, you're happy, Jesus. I says, it's your wedding anniversary, you should be on suicide watch, you. And he just looked at me, he didn't want to say, wife, like, she give me a right look. And then I said, well, I'm going to tell you a story now, because I've mentioned this on the video already a long time ago, but I'll mention it quickly now. This is what I actually said to him all straight after saying that, right? I said, look, I'll tell you a true story now. So they went, right. I says, when I was married to the wife, which technically I'm still married, we're not together anymore, but we're not divorced yet. So I says, when we were married, I said, when it was our wedding anniversary one year, I forgot to buy her something. So I panicked inside what to get her. So I said to her, look, love, I haven't forgot, you know, because I won't forget our wedding anniversary. I'm not like that, you know that, don't you? She went, Tracy went, yeah, all right, yeah. I says, get in the car, I'm going to take you somewhere special. Right, it's a true story, this, right? So we got in the car and I took her to McDonald's. Hey, true story. Took her to McDonald's. I said, sit yourself down, love, I've got a surprise for you. Hey. So I walked over with a Happy Meal and I gave her a Happy Meal and I had a burger, right? She went, what's this? I said, it's your wedding anniversary present. It's a Happy Meal because it's a happy occasion. I thought I'd do something different this year. She went, you're having me on, aren't you? I says, no, there's something in the box for you. And she's like, oh, yeah. So she opened the box and she pulled this crappy toy out that you got with your Happy Meal. I said, see, that's for you. Always thinking of you, love, that's me. Always thinking of you. Anyway, she went balmy. She went balmy. Anyway, a couple of years later, she had nothing left me. And you know, even to this day, I could not tell you the reason why she left me. Very, very inconsiderate she was. So I told these that story. Anyway, the wife, her face just dropped. And she couldn't believe it, wife. And like he was smirking as if to say, good lad, good leave it like that. But he couldn't say, I think he was terrified of her, I don't know. But honestly, it was so funny. So, but I kind of thought, oh, because like people I don't know, I forget that people don't know my sense of humour. Because my dad says I've got a unique sense of humour, the way I look at things and that. So like they looked at me, gone out type of thing, what to say. So, but I didn't mean don't buy it. It's just the way it's just my bit of having a laugh. You know what I mean? So I don't think it went down well. To be honest with you, I think my dad were expecting me to tell a load of stories because I always tell stories because even when I was at school, they used to joke about me. They used to say, Ian's here now, he's a storyteller and his stories must be told. They always used to say that. But it was funny because this morning I was talking to my dad and it got me aside. My dad was going, listen, don't tell a story about such a thing. He must have thought I'm going to come out with it all. Just don't mention such a thing and just don't, the people won't see funny side out. He's like that. So luckily I didn't say any of them stories like, right, well listen, I'm going to end the video now, right? I'm going to bed, I'm knackered. End the video and I'm going to keep filming as the rest of the week goes on while I'm away because I'm going to my brother's in the next couple of days. I'm still stopping at my dad's today because it's early hours in the morning now. So I'll be stopping with my dad today. So today's Friday. So I'm stopping tonight at my dad's and then tomorrow I'm going to my brother Stuart's. So I'm going to spend the day with my dad, which I'm really looking forward to. And I'll probably catch up with you when I'm at my brother's. And I'm going to sign off. Now, listen, if you're new to the channel, right, please consider subscribing. As of today, I've got 207,000 subscribers. I'm trying to build it up as much as I can. So if you're new, please subscribe. If you watch these videos all the time, but you've never subscribed before, I don't know if you realise it's free to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me tremendously with the channel. If you subscribe, then it shows more activity on the channel because you're subscribing, and I go higher up the listing with YouTube, and it made all my videos then go on more people's news feeds, so it'll help the channel to grow even quicker and bigger. So if you could do that, really appreciate it. And if you could do me another favour, if you've enjoyed the video, please press the like button. And if you could leave a comment down below, then I really would appreciate it. It all helps with the YouTube algorithm, that again helps the channel to grow. So I will see you in the next video, which will be in a few days. And I'm trying to document all the journey and everything I'm having on this breakaway. So it's going to be really good. We're going to be having another party near the end of the video, a smaller one, because my nephew Thomas turns 17, so there's going to be a bit of a family doing that, but just a small one. There's only a few of us in the family, well, on that side of the family. So there's only a few of us, so it won't be so bad for me. So plus I know everybody. So I will see you next video. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and thank you for everything you do for us. Me and Kevin at the cabin supporting us by watching the videos and everything you do. So thank you, and I'll see you soon. And I'll see you next time. Not down at the cabin. On location. I'll see you soon. Bye.